I'm Bradley Hiatt, an attorney at the Hiatt Law Group. Before the 1980s, hardworking people, folks in factories and foundries, and chemical plants and oil refineries, and construction workers that built our cities and homes, shipyard workers that maintained our fleets, even military men and women, all were unknowingly exposed to asbestos every day while on the job, in the materials they used and worked with, and even in the air they breathed. The companies that made and sold these materials knew asbestos was dangerous, but kept using it anyways, and never warned anyone until they were forced to. When the truth finally came out about asbestos companies knowingly putting workers at risk for asbestos cancer and lung disease, courts were flooded with lawsuits. Because of the number of lawsuits, the company's clear responsibility for the injuries, but also the size of the companies and the number of people they employed, Congress wrote a bankruptcy code to allow asbestos companies to seek bankruptcy protection and to continue on in their business. Under that law, bankruptcy courts require asbestos companies to set aside money, millions or sometimes billions of dollars, in special accounts called asbestos bankruptcy trusts. Each company, working alongside their bankruptcy court, uses this trust money to compensate injured workers who were exposed to their products. Asbestos takes time to strike. It hides in your lungs or body, and then years down the road, 40, 50, 60 years later, it rears its ugly head. These trusts exist today to help people who worked long ago but have now developed illnesses like mesothelioma, lung cancer, or asbestosis, even decades after their exposure. At Hiatt Law Group, we make the process of preparing and filing successful asbestos cases as simple as possible. You'll start with a phone call, answering a short questionnaire about your work history and health history, so I can evaluate whether you have asbestos exposure in your past and if your injury is one that's related to asbestos exposure. If you do have likely exposure and an injury related to asbestos, our office will then work with you to gather your medical records, work history records, and build your case to be filed. We can complete the entire process of building your case with minimal inconvenience, oftentimes without folks having to leave the house. Once we finish building your case, we file it against the bankruptcy trusts for the companies that expose you or your loved one to asbestos, and work to get settlement offers and ultimately settlement money for you. If you or someone you loved worked before 1980, you should know about the asbestos bankruptcy trusts and all of the injuries they provide compensation for. Even if you're healthy today, it's important to understand the risks of your rights if you're ever diagnosed in the future, or if a family member, neighbor, or even a coworker has had one of these diseases. If you or a loved one has or has had one of these injuries, call us at the Hiatt Law Group today, and we can immediately start helping you on the path to financial recovery. Not to repair what you've lost, but to make life a little better as quickly as possible. Call Hiatt Law Group. There's no cost to find out if you're eligible, and we're here to help every step of the way.